Alright guys, I picked up a camera today, and it's not that one there, but it's this one here. And this is an EOS 10D. I don't know what year these are, but I think about 2003 or 4. I'm going to look it up on the computer here in a second. Yeah, my keyboard is like never in a good spot for me. It's a pretty chunky camera. Okay, Canon Wikipedia. It's a discontinued 6.3 megapixel semi-professional digital SLR camera. Initially announced on the 27th of February 2003. It replaced the D60, which is also a 6.3 megapixel. It was succeeded by the 20D in 2004. Okay. Despite having an APS-C sensor, the 10D was introduced before EF sensors became available. What? And was incompatible with them. The 10D is compatible only with EF lenses. All successive Canon digital SLR cameras with APS-C sensors can mount EF lenses. That doesn't sound right to me. The 10D captured raw images in Canon's CRW file format, which was retired by Canon, although modern versions of Canon's Digital Photo Professional will read it. When it was released, the recommended retail price in the USA was about $2,000. $1,999. When did you say $2,000? While the 10D shares some similarities with the D60, both used sensors of roughly the same resolution, both used the EF lens mount and BGED3 battery grip. The 10D saw many major changes. A new magnesium alloy body with changed button layout was introduced, including relocating on-off switch to the bottom rear of the camera, where it could easily be switched off accidentally. Yeah, I don't like where it's at either. New LCD panel was introduced. The on-off switch was later moved to the back, to the upper left of the camera. No, that's not. A new magnesium alloy body, including relocating the on-off switch to the bottom rear of the camera, where it could easily be switched off accidentally. The on-off switch was later moved to the back upper left. Bottom rear. I don't know. There's two of them. On, off. On, off. Do you have to turn them both on or something? Okay, so let's keep reading. The on-off switch was later moved to the upper left on the camera's rear with the Canon 7D. Flash strobes were used instead of a dedicated autofocus assist lamp. The shutter and mirror were also quieter than the D60 systems. An upgraded autofocus system using a more sensitive and wider area 7-point array, similar to the EOS 30V, was also included. Internally, the sensor was changed to a new manufacturing process, allowing for extended film speed ranges of ISO of 100 to 3200 with custom function. The 10 used an upgraded image processor and was the first DSLR to use the Digic chipset. Continuous shooting was also slightly improved, allowing for 9 images in a burst. The camera introduced FAT32 for compact flash cards larger than 2 gigabytes in capacity, the first for a Canon dslr. The improvements to the white balance system, shooting parameters, sensor cleaning, direct print support, Adobe RGB, color space, improved language support, reception. Reviews at the time of the release were mostly positive. And the sensor makes this camera perfect for natural photography. Although, while the autofocus was improved from the previous models, it did sometimes not work properly. These are just reviews. In 2017, Canon having manufactured 6 generations of high-end APS-C cameras between the 10D and the date of the review. Camera decision scored at 49 for imaging, 33 for features, 55 for value, 68 for portability, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care about all that. Firmware update. The current firmware is 2.1 and it is necessary to be updated to enable picture bridge support. So according to them, they're saying that I can't use this with the other lenses. It does have an EF lens on it. I don't really have very many EF lenses. I don't see how it couldn't be compatible. They're all kind of the same. This has a 28 to 80 lens, an EF lens. I have a 30D, which is basically going to be the same battery, and yeah, I don't know. 6.3 megapixel is plenty for taking pictures. Somebody wrote a review on it in 2025. Canon D launched in 2003 and occupies a special place in the hearts of photography enthusiasts. As technology evolves and newer models flood the market, it's worth asking, does the vintage DSLR still hold up in today's fast-paced photography world? We will do a deep dive, blah, 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 blah. The 10D was Canon's first semi-professional digital DSLR, aimed primarily at serious amateur photographers, aspiring professionals, equipped with an 8.2 megapixel sensor. I don't think so. 6. They got their information wrong. They say 8.2. I don't know. I'm not going to read this thing because I don't think it's correct. So I have the 30D. Let's go ahead and take a look at these other cameras. So I'm gonna get my 30 out and see. Now, my 30 has an EFS lens on it, so now, in my bag, with what I got with this camera,
my 30 does have the EF lens, the big one. And I'm wondering if maybe this other lens got mixed around from one of my other cameras, because I think it did. It doesn't say ultrasonic on it. But this is a 28 to 80. This is kind of a typical newer 18 to 55. This is what a lot of them come with. And this is an EFS. So from what I understand, an EF is a full frame lens and an EFS is for a crop sensor. There's no reason you can't switch the two of them. You're just going to get a round, probably, mark from it. This lens has some kind of filter on it. It's also a 58 millimeter, so some of them are different sizes, but let's see how it says ultrasonic on it. My lenses for this other camera, when I got this one at the thrift store, the 30D, it had two lenses with it. I got a pretty good deal on that one. That one was $29. Yeah, you'll see. Usually they'll say that, because my newer Canons, they don't say ultrasonic on the lenses, and I think that there was something slightly different with these lenses. But I've got a lot of Canon stuff, so I probably have the appropriate lens for this camera. But it'd be kind of interesting to see. Let's go back up here to this little comparison that they were doing. It would be kind of interesting to see what they were talking about. They're comparing, okay. Viewing the 10D and 30 side by side, it's clear the 10D took inspiration from its older brother. Oh, the D30. That's not the same camera. Ah, they're showing the D30. Okay, the D30 and the 30D get confused a lot. I don't know why they did this, but yeah, if you look and see here, my other one is an EOS 30 Delta, and it's over on that part of it. So interesting, but I would say that the 30 Delta and the 10 Delta are almost laid out the same. I do believe the flashes are different and it's maybe a little taller. Good picture. Okay, so they're going to be talking about the lenses. Consistent design language also speaks to the legacy of the EF lens mount, which the 10D utilizes. However, this was a model released before Canon introduced the EF lenses for crop sensor cameras, alongside with the EOS Digital Rebel. The 10D can only accept full-frame EF lenses and doesn't have the additional space in the mirror box for EF lenses. For the EF lenses, protruding bayonet design at the rear of the lens that lets full frame, or that, okay, so the mirror is too close. Ah, okay. It doesn't have additional space in the mirror box for the EF lenses, protruding bayonet design at the rear of the lens that future camera designs would implement. Okay, so if we are looking at these two, the cameras, the mirror is bigger also. I can totally see that. It's very obvious it's bigger. Now, I see right here that it's a little bit different, so let me take a look here and see. Oh yeah, I've run into this problem before. Okay. Yep. See that rubber ring right there? So you physically cannot put this lens on this camera. Yeah. Alright. So, why they did that, I don't know, but anyway. So, you have to use them. Okay, we just learned something. Now, I've run into this problem on other cameras too. I think Nikons and stuff like that. So, I mean, this is not like I'm like upset that I bought a $14 camera that can only run full crop or full, frame sensors. I meant full frame lenses. I'd love to have a full frame camera. I don't know that would make a difference. So, despite the lens mount limitations, the CMOS sensor, which is new technology at the time, alongside Canon's Digix processor, holds up nicely. In this review, Lanning attaches a nifty 50 and is able to get some impressive results that would hold up today. Oh yeah, that looks awesome. I have a 50 millimeter on my Sony Alpha, and that's what I really like about using it. I'm using a Sony Alpha with a Minolta nifty 50 on it. Okay, let's get this back on this camera. So the limitations of this camera could be a little annoying, but I mean, not a bad deal. So yeah, I've got this one here. This is a camera that really drives me nuts because if you look in here, you can see the fingerprint marks. There's not enough of a crook inside this camera, and it's thin plastic, okay? And when you touch it, it's hollow. And it actually flexes slightly under your finger pressure. So this may be an interesting camera, but it feels like a cheap toy. And it takes good pictures. But see, what Canon did was they made the body out of magnesium and they put texture all the way into the corner there. It's a little bit less of a problem. Okay, so let's see what else they were talking about. As the standard bearer for the future of semi-pro APS-C cameras, the 10D line would continue on with the 20D, the 30D, 40D, 50D. Afterward, Canon would split the line further, pushing pros towards the original 7D in 2009. Now, I thought the 7D was considered a semi-professional camera. And let me just make sure that's even correct. But 7D is by far my favorite camera. Okay? Now, I'm not sure. I bought this camera for $100 used. And it is absolutely amazing. I'm not sure. This has got EOS lens. But I'm not sure that this has any bigger of a mirror. Nope. But the The 7D, I thought was from 2009. I am not real sure, but it is really, really good. Like I said, one of my favorites. I've got a couple of different, older Canons, and I really like that one. So this is pushing pros towards the original 7D in 2009 and downgrading the 6D Delta to a more entry level. Vintage camera enthusiasts can check out other reviews, blah blah blah. Anyway, I don't know what else they got going on here, but so let's go and see if it works. We don't even know if it works. So what's cool about this is let's make sure this one comes on. See where they put the switch? I hate this switch. It kind of does like two spots. And there's a little scratch on this one on the back. This does not do live view. Okay, so it's on. You can, look at your pictures. This is a picture I took of this thing when I very first got it. It came with that bag. And somebody bought this like in the Bahamas, because I found a receipt for it. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn this one off. We're going to take the battery out. And I need to find my charger. Okay. So, this is a Canon official battery. Let's see what we got here. This is not a Canon official battery. And when I find stuff like this at the thrift store, I try to be on top of it for a few days to make sure that another one doesn't pop up. Let me get this on the charger. A lot of times when somebody donates some stuff, they don't process it right away. And then a couple days later, like a whole bunch of other stuff will pop up. So maybe a bunch of EF lenses will pop up. What the hell? Why does it light up in the corner there? EOS, it says. Okay. Okay, we got the menu. I'm going to go in really quick and look and see if there's pictures on it. I'm not going to do it on camera because you just never know. Some interesting stuff on here. I was kind of just flipping through. There's an SN95 Camaro Mustang. And you can see there's a Chevy truck, probably a 97 or older. I don't think there's anything bad on here. We'll just flip through here for a minute. It does take a while. You have to wait. And it does that thing where the photos come back into focus. Like on an old Windows computer. So let's see if there's if we can get any info off of these. It says 2016, but I kind of find that hard to believe. But let's see, 2016 and 17. So maybe somebody bought this thing used. Whoever used it really wasn't like they were learning. But anyway, let me give you a second here and we'll check out some other stuff. So it doesn't really take amazing pictures. It's definitely a camera you need to use manual. You just like, I had to take the thing off the end too. I'm not sure. It just kind of looks a little hazy, but I don't know why it has two on-off buttons. That doesn't seem to do anything. It's like, but that one definitely turns it off. So I don't know what the second one's for. It doesn't really seem to do anything. Anyway, it's an interesting camera, and it was cool find for the price. So, yeah. I think there's a piece of rubber stuck in the video thing from where the thing used to be. But anyway, I thought I would just make a video about that and share it with you guys. Thanks for watching.